Hey there, statisticians. So what we're going to do in this video is I'm going to introduce you to the concept of probability. This is an oldie but a goodie. I'm looking for my pencil. You have done probability before, nothing new. So let's talk about it. So what is probability? Probability is a numerical measure between the numbers 0 and 1 that describes the likelihood an event will occur. So a 1 means an event is a certainty. It will happen. 0 is that an event will never occur. So write in your notes, I've given you this. So P parentheses A was read the P of A, or the probability of event A. So if the probability of event A is a 1, that means that this event will happen. And if the probability of event A is a 0, this event will not occur. It's an impossibility. This probability of 1 is a certainty. Probability of 0 is an impossibility. And then probability is always a fraction somewhere between those two. So there are a couple different ways that we can talk about probability. So we can just do intuition. It's a judgment or an opinion, and we usually assign a percent to it. We can do relative frequency, the number of outcomes that I want over the total number of outcomes. And then the probability based on equal outcomes, the number of outcomes that I'm looking for over the total number of outcomes. 2 and 3 are very, very similar. It's always the number of outcomes that I want divided by the number of outcomes that are available. And then intuition is almost more like a guess, but it's an educated guess. So this would be an intuition. A sports announcer claims that Sheila has a 90% chance of breaking the world record in the 100-yard dash. We really have no idea if that's what if it's actually 90%, but it sounds good. Equally likely outcomes. Henry figures if he's guessing on a true-false, it's 50-50 because right answer over total number of answers. So there's one right answer and there are 2 answers available. And then relative frequency. The probability of getting an erroneous medical lab report is 0.4. So if we do 200 labs and there are 80 errors, what is that probability? So how many errors did I get? Because that's what we're looking for is errors divided by how many lab reports there are. So the probability of an error, not the probability of correct, the probability of an error is this. Boom. So law of large numbers, basically what it says is the more numbers I test, the closer I will get to the probability that the theory says I should have, like flipping coins. If I want to know what the probability of getting ahead, flipping ahead, that's 1 out of 2. Well, if I flip a coin once, I might get tails. But if I keep flipping and keep flipping and keep flipping, the closer and closer and closer I will get to 50% heads and 50% tails. That's the law of large numbers. We have statistical experiments and statistical observations. These are the same thing. They're just us observing something. An event is me doing the experiment once. A simple event is one of those outcomes. And then the set is my sample space. If the entire experiment is my sample space. So the sum of the probabilities of all simple events in a sample space must equal 1, because 1 means it's going to happen. So events that we are looking at are either going to happen or not. So if I add the probability of an event happening plus the probability of its complement, I have to get a 1. A complement is the probability that an event does not occur. So what's the probability of raining plus the probability of not raining? Even if I don't know what those are, I know if I add the 2 probabilities together, it'll equal a 1 because it's either going to rain or not. And then, of course, to find the probability that of an event does not occur, if I just do 1 minus the probability of the event, I get its complement. All right, so that brings us to the end of this video. When you come into class tomorrow, please make sure that you have any questions ready, and I will see you tomorrow where we will start doing probability for reals. So I'll see you when I see you, Patriots. Have a great one.